What's going on today, guys? It's Invader, and I really can't believe I'm doing this. I'm back with another COD video. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to make COD videos again. I mean, I probably was at some point, but I'm just going to be honest. My passion for Call of Duty just basically deteriorated after the past, I want to say, 2, 3 years, really 4 years, beginning with MW3. But Sledgehammer has finally, come out with a game that I like. MW3 so far is, in my opinion, the most enjoyable Call of Duty since Black Ops 4. And some people might take that as a hot take. Some people might agree with me, but, in my personal opinion, and as far as like my personal enjoyment goes, this is probably my favorite COD since BO4, like I said. Its time to kill is great. The movement speed, the pacing of the game is fucking phenomenal. It's just good. It's fun. Probably the worst thing about the game at this point is, in my opinion, not having everything unlocked, I guess, and not being able to see all the maps, but in some of the balancing issues. But overall, I really enjoy the game. High TTK, which is really good. High movement speed, great. The map set is fucking phenomenal. Outside of Estate, which I hated Estate back in the day, and I still fucking do. It's just building wars and sniper wars between the guys in the top building and the assholes down in the garage in the middle of the map. It's not a good map. It doesn't play well, but I mean, it still plays better than all of the shitty maps from the previous years. I think it's better than Piccadilly, the border crossing map from MW2, and some of the other shittier maps just from, in general, some of the recent Call of Duties. Fucking Red Star or Red Square or whatever the fuck it was called in Vanguard. That big-ass map, which kind of grew on me throughout Vanguard cycle, but, it wasn't good. The map set in this game will probably be its saving grace, because I think no matter what type of game they make, the maps really make or break it. And the old school maps just, I don't know, they feel right, they feel good, they play and flow properly. The spawns right now are probably the worst things about the map, but I imagine they'll tweak them a little bit and make them significantly better, in the coming weeks by the time the game launches. But overall, I'm very satisfied and very happy with the game. Now, it's certainly not perfect. There's a lot of shit I don't like, such as that god-awful, dreaded UI that they brought back from MW2. The fact that they're making the game and stuffing it all into one application, which is fucking retarded, man. Why do I have to boot up another game just for it to close that game and launch another one? Like, why can't I just launch Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and not have to deal with all the other bullshit? I imagine it's probably because of Warzone. They want to, bundle it in with that or whatever the fuck. But honestly, I'm not with that shit. I just want, the game on its own to launch by itself. The UI still sucks. It's that same shit from MW2, like I said. And granted, there have been some minor improvements, such as the in-game lobby, which I haven't really seen too many people talk about. But yeah, you can actually see people's names in the pre-game lobby. You can see their microphones. Map voting coming back is absolutely huge. The fact that this has been kind of an overlooked feature in recent years, and the devs have practically almost ignored it, except for Treyarch. Treyarch was, the only one to have map voting in one of their recent games. Infinity Ward hasn't had map voting in God knows how long, and it fucking sucks to see that, basic, simple features like that are just taken away and then, added back in because, game developers are just autistic, I guess. I don't know, man. But honestly, map voting being back is great. The map set is great. The high TTK, the speed and pacing of the game is good. There's still some things to dislike, such as the UI, like I said, but it's a significant improvement over what we've gotten since MW19 release. This game is a lot of fun. It's really good. And if you were a fan of the older games, such as MW2, like back in the day, like the 2009 one, I think you should check this game out, because the map set alone is just going to bring back a lot of nostalgia, and they're still fun as fuck to play on, in my honest opinion. I think they're great. Skidrow's a fun map. Highrise is still by far one of my favorite maps. Trying to go for cross-map snipes and search and destroy is just, it's fun. Having something like that in the game is fucking great. The only map I'm really not a big fan of so far in the beta is Rust. And, I mean, as somebody who played the original MW2 back in the day, all the maps that I disliked back in the day, I'm probably going to dislike again. And I feel like there's going to be community-wide resentment towards some of those maps, such as Derail, Wasteland, stuff like that. Those maps are god-awful, and I won't be told otherwise. But overall, a majority of the maps are really good. I really have a big gripe with some of the weapon leveling in this game. It's another, like, big negative, because I used a gun for 5 or 6 straight games, and I barely got it up a few levels. The leveling in this game is just absolutely fucking abysmal. It needs a huge buff. But, you know, it's something small that, you know, can get resolved relatively easily as long as Sledgehammer's listening. So if you guys are, you know, listening to this video, go at Sledgehammer on Twitter to, yeah, increase the weapon leveling up rate. And, I mean, maybe I'm the only one in this boat, but I just thought it was way too fucking slow, and I honestly think weapon leveling should be relatively quick. You should be able to play, I don't know, like 10 games and have all the attachments. It shouldn't take too long. It should be a little bit of a grind, you know, you have to play a little bit, but there's no reason you shouldn't be able to, you know, unlock all the attachments for a gun in one night. It shouldn't take multiple nights to do that. Kind of ridiculous that they're, like, nerfing weapon leveling. It's just fucking stupid. But, you know, outside of a few of the things I've mentioned, you know, and the weapon leveling thing is something that can get fixed, spawns can get fixed. The worst thing is probably the UI, which they're not going to touch at this point, you know, so I feel like that's a complaint that's just, you know, kind of pointless to complain about, because they're very set on this dog shit, god-awful Netflix UI. I'm really not a fan of it, to be honest. But, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, I'm enjoying this game. I think it's the best since BO4, and if they handle post-launch support properly and, you know, get stuff, you know, buffed and fixed, such as the weapon leveling and stuff like that, this will be one of the better not one of the better, this will probably be the best modern Call of Duty to come out. It'll be miles ahead of MW19, miles ahead of Cold War, miles ahead of Vanguard, but they need to give us good launch support, which I have a lot more faith in Sledgehammer, simply because of the way they handled Vanguard's post-launch. They really did change, nerf, buff a lot of things. I remember one of the big gripes back with Vanguard was, you know, ADS speeds. They sucked. They were horrible. And Sledgehammer took a step and they upped ADS speeds across the board on all weapons, and they kept buffing them for a while until everything was in a good place. And, you know, I'm expecting them to do much of the same here when it comes to small little things like that, you know, getting the game to feel the right way and, you know, play the proper way. So, I mean, I've got a fuck of a lot more faith in Sledgehammer than I do Infinity Ward or Treyarch. I mean, Infinity Ward is just... they need to be barred from making video games ever again, because a lot of the decisions that they made with MW2 just were bad, man. They were fucking bad, and I really can't believe I'm, you know, saying this, but Sledgehammer might have saved the franchise in a sense. They're bringing us a fun game that the fans want. I mean, it feels like it's been forever since Call of Duty has done something for its OG fans, and I feel like this game is made for its OG fans. If you've been playing COD for a decade plus, if you played the OG COD 4, you played MW2 back in the day, MW3, BO1, BO2, even, you know, if you got into the franchise more recently, like BO4, if that was your first COD, this game is for you. This game is for us. This game is for the community. It's not some, you know, fucking camping, slow, wannabe Rainbow Six Battlefield, you know, bullshit. This game looks, feels, and plays like Call of Duty. It's miles ahead of the previous games. And like I said, if Sledgehammer does the post-launch support properly, we get the fixes we need, this is going to be a great game. I'm kind of expecting it to be at this point, and I feel like I'm hyping myself up to get let down, but, you know, we'll see. I think they'll do it, and you know what? That's all the time I got for the video. Peace.